Hi friends, today we are taking you to one of the most frequently visited temples by Sri Lankan Buddhists. It is well known for its historical importance and famous for its beautiful paintings and sculptures. The temple is located about 10 kilometers to the northeast of Colombo in Sri Lanka. The sins of a lifetime are all rendered null when one worships the Kelaniya Temple once. Kelaniya Temple is an ancient temple that has a history dating back to 500 BC. Buddhists believe the temple to have been hallowed during the third and final visit of the Buddha to Sri Lanka. Buddha's second visit to Nagadeepa, Sri Lanka was in the 5th year of enlightenment to settle a dispute between two Naga kings, Kuladara and Mahadara, over the possession of a gem-studded throne. After having listened to the Dhamma sermons by Buddha, the Naga kings paid homage to Buddha with overwhelming faith, and the throne was offered to Buddha by two Naga kings. The Naga King Maniakkita, ruler of Kelaniya, who also listened to Buddha's Dhamma sermons, pleaded for a souvenir to worship. So, the throne was gifted to him by Buddha. King Maniakkita was constructed a stupa, covering the gem-studded throne in Kelaniya for thousands of devotees to worship, and invited Buddha to visit the holy site. Buddha, together with 500 Arahat, supremely enlightened beings, visited and preached Dhamma on Wesak Poya Day, after 8th year of enlightenment as Buddha. It was Buddha's third and final visit to Sri Lanka. The stupa is in the shape of a heap of paddy, and the height of the stupa is about 90 feet. When entered to the middle chamber, we can observe many interesting paintings, including the paintings of Yutaka stories, the battle of the Buddha with the forces of Mara, and many more paintings that showcase the artistic elegance of the temple. The Buddhist culture and history are displayed in the paintings. The paintings by the native artist Solis Mendes, which depict important events in the life of the Buddha, the history of Buddhism in Sri Lanka, and depict important events in the life of the Buddha. In Buddhist time, the gong and drum were used to gather everyone to announce the precepts, meal times, dharma talks. Today, most Buddhist temples and monasteries' traditions use drums in practice, every temple offering meals in the morning and before noon to Buddha, then to the monks by the devotees. Offering are objects set on altar tables before images of the Buddha. Among the items presented as offerings are flowers, rice balls, fruits, sweets, burning incense, and oil lamps. Worshippers may sit on the floor barefoot, facing an image of Buddha and chanting, or they will listen to monks chanting from religious texts and take part in prayers. Puja typically involves not only the making of offerings but also meditation and prayer. Frequently, a Buddhist will worship the Buddha and kneel in prayer or meditation. These meditations sometimes involve a mental reconstruction of the Buddha's auspicious qualities, compassion, and profound wisdom with the hope of cultivating those qualities oneself. Puja, in fact, often looks very much like worship, sometimes involving a great outpouring of emotion and adoration. Giving is encouraged more generally to one another and good causes in Buddhist tradition, but the greatest puja of all is that it was the Dhamma that should be learned and practiced. All good deeds earn an individual some merit. Earning merit is essentially the same thing as earning good karma, which helps a Buddhist ascend to higher reincarnation levels and eventually reach the state of enlightenment. The art of Sri Lankan sculpting is blessed with a long and illustrious history, from Buddha statues, Bodhisattva statues, and various religious statuettes to various ornaments used for religious architecture. Around the outer walls of the temple buildings, you can observe 3 ornamental friezes from one end to the other. The first frieze consists of a row of elephants with carved trappings and mahouts. The second frieze consists of little dwarves, and the third frieze is a row of geese, which is unique. The Bodhi tree is an authentic and living link to Gautama Buddha, where the Buddha had attained enlightenment. The Buddhists make many offerings and vows at this sacred tree. You will find the atmosphere filled with the fragrance of the incense sticks and the burning of the oil lamps. People supposed to take off their hats and shoes before entering a temple, and they should have their arms and legs covered when they enter a temple. Do not take photos facing your back to the Buddha statue, are some of the rules one should follow when visiting a temple. The spiritual atmosphere of the temple will bless you with peace and harmonious feelings. It is the most sacred place for the Buddhists in Sri Lanka. Its historical importance, rare and famous paintings and sculptures are very much impressive. Hope this video will help you to explore the culture and tradition of Sri Lankan Buddhists. Please subscribe to the channel to watch more places of nature, culture and lifestyles.